everybody. Welcome in. I have the pleasure today. My name is Stephen, a proud parishioner here at St. Joseph's Parish in Las Vegas, and I've really enjoyed working with Father Krier over the last 6 months or so, and I'm very excited to hear that we're talking about a parish hall, and I thought that a parish hall was kind of in the works, and you said, no, we have all the plans, we have all the approvals and things. So before we talk a little bit about the hall, why do you feel like St. Joseph's down here in downtown Vegas really needs a parish hall?
Well, first of all, there's absolutely nothing here, even for the community itself, for people to get together. Secondly, we also then have that of assisting those who have need, and therefore also as when it comes to that of feeding every day when it's too hot, we can say, and of course Las Vegas is going to be hot, or again when we have sometimes, which we've had, rain, then there's that ability also to make sure that we're not trying to make people suffer more than they need to, and there's no justification to a certain extent to make people suffer who again are hungry, but again if they're going to receive something, that we have to have them out in the rain waiting or eating there in that situation. Also, we know that for the parish itself, we are again a parish here. We have that of the normal parish functions, and as such, again, we do not have that. We have, and we know we're somewhat land-based, or I should say landlocked, but at the same time, that aspect is we've accumulated some property that again is sufficient that we could put a hall there, and of course that would again allow us to have that of our functions without actually, to a certain extent, not being able to have functions that are there, not to have a proper classroom for that of the CCD, not again of having the where we can get together and have that of dinners, or that of again receptions that are especially necessary for us, at least we would consider it necessary as Catholics, and that also of a meeting place where we again can have that of groups there and a meeting together on various subjects and explaining different things that need to be done. And as we said again, because we're here in that of Las Vegas and there is nothing available, it would be also a place where if there is a call for meeting for the community, there would also then be a place for them all to come, as opposed to having to again go outside. And therefore, we know already from experience, if we're to meet someplace that's outside of the community, then nobody is going to go because it becomes an inconvenience. And so with that, we again have those various ideas that we again have. Also, again, we still need, and we need to have that of library and access to those things that pertain to that of those who again want to enjoy that of the Catholic faith and study the Catholic faith, and we don't have a reading room or any place right now for that availability. So all those things basically come in that idea of why we're striving as much as we can in order to again have a hall. We've been here for 40 years, and it would seem like we're falling behind in that of our obligations to meet the needs, and so we're trying to really do everything we can in order to make sure that that happens very soon.
Well, you always put a very optimistic spin on things, which is good. You highlight and accentuate the positives, but the room we're sitting in right now, I think we could say this is kind of, besides the main church, this is like the heartbeat of the operation down here now, because meal preparation goes on here. There's constantly intaking of food that's dropped off, clothing and things like that. And I would just tell the viewer, just take a look around behind you. And although the camera gives the appearance of being a bigger room, I can tell you, if you've seen like the footage of the Thanksgiving meal preps and stuff, it gets pretty tight in this.
It is.
And this is also a classroom they've been using for teaching on Saturdays, and taking down and putting up, and then putting tables back up and back to the food use. So I can't say that you haven't gotten every bit of use out of this room.
Definitely this room is used, but it also inhibits us from, again, functioning the way we should be functioning. And so even when you look at it, it's not just a matter of people believing us that we actually do these things here. It's a matter that also people don't think we can do it, and therefore, because of the space, not again wanting to participate in the various meetings and different activities that we do have here.
Yeah, by my rough back at the end of a low calculation, about 500,000 meals have been served out of here. And this is sort of the hub of preparation and other things that people prepare the hot foods and bring it in, and it's served. Cleanup has to be done and all that. But I think the function of also having a space that's more welcoming for people to generally come to is, I don't want to talk about church as a selling point, but it makes the parish, I think, more well-rounded in terms of being attractive, because you have a beautiful church in there, and you would like to have something that's sort of befitting for the parish to to be able to enjoy and pass down for generations to.
Certainly. I mean, think of our children, and especially even when we do think of the children, they want to have some space, but there is no space here. And that aspect of it, we want to have activities for the young people, but again, there's no space here for them to again have it. And if we have one thing going on, we can't have something else. So it basically limits us to all the different activities that are possible. And that's definitely something that we want to make sure that it doesn't stop us. We want to grow, and we want to again have that realization that those who do come here can see that there is that possibility of growth. And so as we again look at that of trying to make this happen, then definitely, and it's again, as was mentioned in the beginning, it's not that we haven't started. It's basically we've gone and we're pulling things out of the air that aren't even there in order to again
don't sell
keep on
yourself
going.
short.
Yes.
You've done a lot of prep work and a lot of money gathering already.
Yes.
For this, and I think in talking to Father, I thought, well, maybe we could compress to the point where we could have an aggressive sort of capital campaign in 2024, that we could solicit individual donors and corporate and other entities. We might be able to accelerate the timeline. You've gathered the majority of the funds have already been gathered without getting into specifics, and you can always contact Father here at the parish if you want to be more engaged in the process. But you've gone a long way to raising that money. So I guess this is also a way of saying that the campaign is going to be kicking off in earnest in spring, and hopefully by the end of 2024, at least 80-90% of the monies would be in hand, with maybe pledges for the balance.
Yeah, definitely, we're looking at that, and we don't want to have it. Our difficulty too runs in the fact that definitely we are a donation charity function, and it's difficult to go to financial institutes, etc., and say, okay, we depend upon donations, as opposed to here's that of you can say financial investment that's going to again return to those who are there so much return for that of the product that's being produced. We're not producing so to say that of commodities that are sellable. We're basically producing, or at least influencing people in a way that has that of both their foundation as human beings, as again making sure that those who again are hungry are fed, and therefore making it in that of the community a place where there isn't that of desperation and all those different things that you can't look at in regards to quantity and financial returns, but rather we have to look at that of that quality of life and that ability of again raising those who again live here in the community to better standards, and having that of again a more of a community relationship that we should have when it comes to activities that we do again together as humans. So definitely, if we look at it as why again we don't have an influx, or why there's not financial institutes wanting to again invest in us, definitely we have to realize that we understand there's not going to be a financial return. It's going to be that of a quality return that is there within the individuals who again we reached out to, and those who again come to us wanting that of something that again they can only obtain, and that is through that of you can say, interpersonal relationships and that of community assistance.
I think that's important, because if these are good times right now, and based on what I've seen, being around, I kind of dread a little bit to think about what tough times might look down here. And this place might be a real beacon of real critical importance going forward. And I think that Parish Hall will give a little more flexibility and room to operate and grow with the potential need that is here. So I think that that's a beautiful thing too. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to end part one here. Obviously you can just look around and visually and see the need for a parish hall, and I'm going to ask Father to give a tour around on the outside and show you guys, to let you envision a little bit what the parish hall will look like. And of course there'll be other follow-up videos that show artist rendering and things like that. So thank you very much, Father, and with that I will thank you, and Father, a little blessing for the viewers today.
Yes, thank you very much, and we wish to again make sure that God does bless you. So let me give you a blessing, and it's going to be in Latin, but again, that's that universal, because definitely it says we are, again, are one family. Benedicti Domini Potentis, Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti, descend super vos et manet semper.
Thank you very much, Father.
You're welcome.